talking about working in homeschooling. Thea or NaConda, do you have our book by handy?
I do.
I can get it. I can
think
grab
I
it
have
really
mine on my
quick.
bookshelf, but
Thea, do you have it? I can get it.
yeah, let's if we can grab that, that would be great because I want to talk about that. I think I do have it, but y'all, I'm half in pajamas right now. I just have a top on. Let's see.
Me too. I'll have it semi okay.
Lord have mercy. We are live on Facebook. Let these folks in. Let's see. So they heard that I am halfway in pajamas. Don't judge me. Judge me if you want to. This is true life. This is usually how I sit in a meeting with a face full of makeup, nice shirt, and pajama bottoms or leggings on.
That's what's up.
Right. So, hey, listen, guys, it's Friday. Happy Friday. Happy enjoy your family, your weekend, get rest, relax, recuperate, all that good stuff. Happy Friday, right? So we are here again, once again, for another live panel discussion for the Tailor-Made HVC 2021. And we are speaking today about working and homeschooling, okay? Now, listen, y'all, I got like 18 jobs, no joke, not including homeschool, and being a wife and a mama and being my husband's boo thing, not those, right? I've got like 18 million jobs. So what I want to do is, before we get started, I want to go around. Hey, Ruby. Hey, okay, tell me how to pronounce your name. Is it Nathan? Yeah, somebody help me. Nathalie?
Nathalie.
Nathalie. Okay, I like that. Nathalie. Thank y'all so much for joining us in the live panel discussion today. So we're going to talk about working in homeschooling. I'm going to introduce these wonderful ladies, including Miss Love on the screen. Hey, Love. I'm going to introduce these amazing ladies and then we will jump into it. Okay, so I'm going to go, y'all know how I do it, left to right on my camera. So the first one there is Adrienne. She is I don't want to say blogger. She's way more than that. With Homeschool Mom of 8, she has a whole entire tribe, right? Then we have Jania here with Kids and Culture, y'all. Listen, I am just now getting to connect with her, but I'm very interested in Kids and Culture and the camp that she provides. Y'all, first of all, she is giving away stuff in the conference, okay? So she's doing some sponsor giveaways, but also, y'all, she's got an amazing thing in the grab bag. So go to the grab bag, look at it. I was looking at it like, ooh, let me see how I can fit this into my budget. So, and then we have Miss Kizzy. Listen, Miss Kizzy, sweet spirit, glad to have her here. Kimberly Tardy, the Southern Mocha homeschool mom. The Peace to My Storm, NaConda Frank, right? She's a homeschool coach as well. I'm rowdy, she's not. And then Miss Thea D Parker, she dipped on us. What's really going on? There she is.
I was looking for the book.
Okay. Miss Thea D Parker, I did give her an assignment right before we went live. I apologize. And then, guys, we have our conference attendees, and then we have Miss Lakeisha Williams. This is the first time she is joining us in the panel, y'all, and she has when I saw her handle, I was like, oh, that's dope. I like that. That's a play on what's going on in the real world. So it's the Real Homeschool Moms, right? Am I saying it right?
Real Moms of Homeschooling.
Real Moms of Homeschool. And I was like, that's dope. A play on all the craziness, reality shows, and all that stuff that is going on. I really like that.
You are the first one to pick up on that.
Right. Really? Listen, I mean, y'all, I might watch a little bit of reality TV here and there, you know. Potomac is my favorite one, but they do a little too much for me. Them other ones they way out. But anyway, let's see. So we're going to go around and say what we do, just business-wise, and then we'll start the conversation. So again, I'm going to start left to right and go with Adrienne. Adrienne, what do you do besides homeschooling and being a wife and a mom?
Well, my husband and I run 2 businesses. We have a commercial cleaning business where we get government contracts. And I actually make homemade soaps and lotions, and I sell at markets. But because of COVID, I have been kind of like kicked to the wayside the last year. And of course, I'm an author, and I offer a parenting course. So I'm doing all those jobs.
Okay.
Mhm.
And Jania, what you got there?
Oh, by training, I'm an attorney, and I practiced at a pretty large law firm for a couple of years in preparation to start homeschooling. And then once we made that decision, I actually moved my practice to home. I was practicing from home. I don't practice currently, but I keep my bars active and I run kids and culture camp. So it's evolved from just a summer program to spring programs to self-paced programs. And that's primarily, what I do. And I speak a lot at different church events internationally and nationally.
Okay. International.
Mhm.
Come on now. We got an international celebrity in here, y'all. All right. Let's see. Kizzy, what do you do besides homeschool and be a baby mama, a wife here?
Woo, too many things to name. I would probably get you all tired, but certified life coach, also homeschool consultant, but I've done graphic and website design, which is a company I started by being a homeschool mom, taught myself how to do it, have serviced many celebrities and different clients and major companies throughout the US and internationally. Also public speaking for churches and you name it, locally as well as internationally as well. But so many hats. Also insurance agent license in several states because that's my residual income where I don't have to do anything. It still pays me while I sleep.
Okay.
So that's it.
I love that. All right. Kimberly Tardy, come on with it. What you got going on?
Well, after I left the pharmacy, I became a childbirth educator, a doula, and a lactation specialist.
Okay. All right. NaConda is the homeschool teacher inside, outside, at the preschool, everywhere. She teaching everybody. Come on, NaConda, what you doing?
All the kids. Yes, I am a preschool teacher outside of the home. I also teach online with Outschool. I'm a home education consultant and coach. I'm an author and a speaker, and I'm currently in training to be a birth doula.
Listen, I told you she teaches everybody. All of them. She teaches everybody. All right, Thea D. Parker, you're next.
Hello, I am Thea Parker. By profession, I'm a real estate consultant. I just launched a Mom Society membership to help mothers become first-time investors to get their own rental properties and buy and sell houses. I've been in the business of real estate for about 15 years. I've been an investor, property manager, landlord, buy, sell, you name it. So I'm in Florida. That's where I am.
Yeah, I'm excited, y'all. What is it called? The Landlord Society? What's it
The
called?
Moms Landlord Society.
Don't that sound
Oh, that is so nice.
So, because moms is
I like
first,
that. I
you're
love
always
that.
mom first, and you're becoming a landlord at the same time, which is a lot of work. I have 2 kids, so I know how it goes. So it's the Moms Landlord Society. So where it's mothers getting together, learning how and what to do and how we can do this together.
I'm here for it because I want to invest more than what I am doing right now. We do own a few properties by some, by the grace of God that just fell in our lap, some because of, family passing away and passing it on to us. But that's, y'all, that right there is a residual income right there. Let's see. And Lakeisha, what do you do besides homeschool?
I am a startup business educator for mompreneurs, so moms who are wanting to start up their business. So I focus solely on that startup phase, which can be the most difficult time for moms, and typically the biggest time where you will decide not to go forward because it can be super overwhelming. So for the past 7 years, I've been doing that full time. Real Moms of Homeschooling kind of started out of the pandemic by accident last year. So that's what I've been doing as far as professionally on attached to that. So Real Moms in Business is the primary what I do day in and day out, which is helping moms who are in the 0 to 3 month stage of wanting to start their own business. And then author, and now I'm kind of diving into public speaking. So yeah, that's what I do.
All right. So listen, and then I do have 50 million jobs. No joke. We have, we have, listen, I'm not as bad as NaConda though. I don't teach everybody's kids. No, we have a catering business, and then we have a transportation business. And then I also am a homeschool coach that helps families transition into homeschooling, which is Sean, the homeschool guru. So let me go into the comments before we get diving in real deep and say hello to everyone in the comments. Hey, Pavi. Hey, Camille. Lakeisha's in the comments too. Cassandra, thank you for joining us. Hey, Shantae. So listen, you guys are more than welcome to join us in the meeting as well. With us is Ruby, and I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say it wrong. Somebody help me say it correctly. Say it.
Nathalie.
Nathalie, is that right? Okay.
Nathalie.
Okay. Every time I look at it, I want to say Nathan, and I know that is incorrect. I apologize. It's just me. So we have them here joining us in the live conversation. You guys are more than welcome to do that. If one of you ladies could please post the Zoom link in the actual comments, that would be great for me. So let's get started. So one of the questions I was going to ask, the question that I get asked all the time is, how do you do it? How do you do your 18 jobs and homeschool? Like, what are your tips and tricks? So I will start with me. My tip is that I block schedule. So I do typically 3 to 4 hours of blocks, right? So 2 to 3 hours. I work on one business. So in the morning, I work on our transportation business and nothing else gets worked on. So I don't answer emails for any other business. I don't do anything. I literally ignore my phone or anything that has to do with anything outside of that transportation business. And then when it comes to the catering business, I focus another 2 to 3 blocks on that. And then again, ignore everything else. So I'm very intentional in those blocks of time, focusing on those particular business. And in the meantime, my kids are older, so they don't need as much help. They're kind of in the background. They may come say something to me, they may not. But that's how I manage it all. And I'm going to be honest with you. Some days I don't manage it very well. I'm going to be very honest with you, right? Like, so that's how I do it. But I want you guys to start talking. Ready, set, go. Somebody pick.
I'll jump in there.
Okay.
I think one of my keys has been waking up really early or staying up really late. I like to get my work done primarily when the house is really quiet. That may require me, sometimes I get up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning to work on things. Like when I was in the process of beginning Kids and Culture, I was up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, or I would stay up until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning to get things done. So waking up early or staying up late when the house is quiet. And my children are older too now, but they weren't when I, first launched my business. So I would say, find your rhythm. And sometimes you have to schedule things during regular business hours if you're making contact with business people. So you have to keep that in mind, but also get some help. Like I'm huge on outsourcing. I'm huge on independent contractors. I mean, when camp is in session, I have a staff of 40 people. When camp is not in session, I have a core group that that provides some help to me. But I mean, I believe in outsourcing and getting some help.
You know what? You say outsourcing. I'm putting the link in the actual, in the thing. I'm sorry, you guys. You say outsourcing, and I'm going to go to Thea on this because Thea is big on outsourcing, y'all. Thea's like, child, I can't wait till I can outsource housekeeping, till I can outsource like she is like big on outsourcing. So I'm gonna go to her because I know I'm not a big outsource person. I'm gonna be very honest with you. It's difficult for me to let go of things because if it fails or if something goes wrong, I feel bad because I knew if I would have, I feel, I'm not gonna say I know, I feel that if I would have handled it, it wouldn't have failed, right? And so that was big for this particular conference because I know I needed help, like even with social media posting, all that, and I wanted to have my daughter help me do that, but I was like, child, she's gonna have to do it, I might as well do it myself, So I'm gonna go to Thea with that because she's big on outsourcing, y'all. She's big on outsourcing. Come on, Thea, what you got?
Well, I like outsourcing because we as women, Shaka Khan didn't do us any justice trying to be every woman. We are not every woman. We are not every woman. And I feel like we have gotten away from community. Everybody is all about themselves. They stay to themselves. They try to do it all themselves, and women try to do it all. Like we think we can do it all. We are super women. We can do it, right? I'm every woman. But we end up hurting ourselves mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. So outsourcing, it's very hard in the beginning. It's kind of like a baby, teaching them what you need, how you want it to look, the best way to do it. It's just like training a child, but it is important to do it in the long run, because if you don't, when you die, they're going to get another one to replace you. Okay. After they didn't put you in the dirt because you done 10, 12, 15 jobs, you can't sleep, you can't eat, your stomach messed up, your health is bad. What's going to happen? They're going to keep moving. They're not going to stop living. So it's important that we look at that list of all of that stuff we have to do. Somebody else can do it. My kids are 8 and 11 now. They can probably do everything on the list. Now, it might not be right, 99% of the time. But it's a training ground, right? It's a training ground, like homeschooling. It's a training ground. It's funny, we give that training and things to our children, but we don't do the same thing for ourselves. We don't give ourselves that grace of outsourcing and getting someone else to help us, right? They're training, you're training to learn how to ask for help and teach them the type of help you need.
But were we taught that? Because I'm not gonna lie.
No. Your mother, your grandmother, you're taught to see them do everything.
We're taught to be super women, right? We're taught. Like, I remember seeing my mom do it all, and I thought she could do it all. And then when I got grown and I started having kids and doing all this stuff, and I was like, fam, this mess is for the birds. Like, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I'm not even enjoying life. Like, what? Why,
you know what, Sean? I talk to my mother all the time, and my mother now is going through her fourth round of cancer.
She's gonna beat it again.
Fourth round of cancer, right? And so I talk to my mom a lot with having my own kids, and I ask her all the time, what do you remember about being a parent? She always says the same thing, being exhausted. That's all she remembers. That's all she ever says. I was exhausted all the time. So now in her late 60s, her health has failed. You know why? Because she was exhausted for 30 years, 20 years. Think about that compounded exhaustion, mental, physically, emotionally, of you doing everything for 20 or 30 years. Now you're in your 60s and she wants to come to the beach and spend it with her grandkids, but she's sick all the time. She can't.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for my mother showing me, don't do it all, teaching me, even though she thought that was the way to go and her mother did it and the grandmothers did it, right? Like you just said, we see the grandma doing it, big mama doing it. She's been doing everything for everybody, right? Taking care of everybody except herself. I'm so grateful that my mother was the person who saw that's not the way to do it. Get your rest, go to bed, it'll be there tomorrow.
It can wait. I'm big on that.
So I'm grateful.
It can definitely wait. Absolutely.
I agree.
Else? Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that delegating and outsourcing is a form of self-care. It's a natural means of preservation. You can only do but so much, and you can't pour from an empty vessel. So if you don't put your own oxygen mask on first, what good are you to anybody, to you as a wife, as a mother, as a business owner, as any of those things? You have to outsource just so that you can protect your sanity, right? So that you don't fall apart and crumble. So definitely delegate. And furthermore, your business can never scale. It can't scale if you're being the one-man band, being all things to all people. It can't grow. You're stifling your own growth by not delegating.
Ouch. That you hurt me.
You heard it? You felt it?
Ooh, she stepped on my toes. Leave me alone. I'm not bothering you, Kizzy. Stop picking on me. Leave me alone. Anybody else?
Can I ask?
Yeah, I would definitely second that for sure. As someone who has definitely taken this outsourcing thing to a whole nother level, I'm in the process of even transitioning, and we're moving out the country. Because one of the biggest things that I kept seeing, it's still under wraps because some of my moms are in here, and that's a big reveal that I'm doing the next few weeks for them, so I can't stay.
Okay, so I'll be following. Yes, let me follow you.
Right.
Listen, Thea is big on moving out the country, so
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay, then I got to pick your brain in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with that, I had just turned 40 last year. And one of the things is that I have a lot of older girlfriends around me. And to what I think Thea was saying earlier was I kept seeing them so super exhausted. That was like the biggest thing. And then I found myself doing so many different things along with, I had to scale back even in my businesses, even on what I was taking on. I had to get really clear and intentional with my time. And that's probably the biggest thing that I tell my moms is that, number one, homeschooling does not look like it does for everyone, especially because I deal with moms who are brand new. And a lot of them are trying to recreate public school at home. And that's where a lot of the frustration comes into play. And so having to deprogram their way of what they had learned, and was, we all went through when we went to public school and all of that. And to build your life and design your life exactly how you want it. Think about when you wake up every single morning, how do you want your day to flow? How do you want your children's day to flow? For me, I knew that my kids need me because I have my oldest is 20, but I have a 2-year-old. And then I have kids in between. So I have 5 children, but 4 that I'm homeschooling. And they're various ages. And that's a lot in and of itself. So we try all kinds of different scheduling. And that's another thing. Be open and be okay to trying different scheduling. What may work out semester A, it may not be the same by the end of the semester or going into semester 2. It is going to change, and that's okay. Flow with it. Give yourself grace. Definitely invest in your self-care. I hire my children, and that's a whole nother topic that we can go into later on, but to give them jobs within my business. So that way they also are getting that training and I'm getting things done. And it's also a way for them to respect mommy's boundaries when I'm working. So if they feel like they're kind of involved in doing stuff with me, I'll give them, child-friendly activities to do in the business. So like my oldest may help me, like she was doing just now, helping me set up all this stuff because I'm about to do a live. So she knows exactly what the checklist is. Okay, mom needs the computer up and the microphone working and the Wi-Fi, making sure that's good. My 9-year-old does copying, when I'm doing things. My 7-year-old now kind of sends out little emails. So it's just involving them in the process, because remembering that homeschooling is a journey. It's a part of your entire life. It's not just one piece that you kind of check off, but it literally incorporates into and weaves into different parts of your life. So that would be my advice, just to kind of be open to that and relax and be okay if one day your schedule looks kind of great and then the next day it don't look the same. It's okay.
You dropped a bunch of nuggets. Janae, you said you had a question. You popped in and said you had a question too.
I do. So my question is, because I think this would be helpful for the audience, how many moms you are solely dependent on your business income for your family? And I ask that because it's one dynamic when you have a spouse who provides, the bulk of whatever you need for your family, and you can kind of just do your thing on the side, versus if I don't bring in this money, we're not going to have any food to put on the table. Okay. And so I would kind of like to hear if there's, anyone on the panel that does not have that support, that spousal support or whomever, and it's solely up to you, because I just think that that's a different dynamic there.
Yeah, so
I've done that.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go left to right again, but that's not my story. Although we do have businesses and our livelihood depends on that, it's our business together. So that's not our story. So I'll say that. Go ahead, Adrienne.
Answering Janae's question. Oh, no. My husband is home. He's retired. And because he worked, before he retired, he would leave early in the morning, and I would have to do everything with the kids because we live in the country. We moved to the country because we have children. But anyway, I was the sole entity in the house at the time. But he has retired, but he's his money comes in, it helps, and the money that I make from my businesses just supplements what he brings in already. But it is so different now since he is retired, as even with homeschooling. Because he helps me with that also. But that's only been the last 3 years. We also do have done foster care. And for a long time, I had to do everything, homeschooling, cooking, shopping, whatever. Yeah. But it is a different dynamic when you do not have that help. I understand that.
Yeah. Okay. So Jania, you're next then. Answer your own question.
Right. So it's not my story. I will just say, and this is something I like to impress upon people, for those that are married, we made the decision early on that we were going to live off of one salary. So even when I was working full-time outside of the home, we lived off of my husband's salary only. So that when I decided that I didn't want to, do that job anymore, we weren't devastated, and it meant sacrifices. I know that's kind of a whole different topic, but no, that's not my scenario. My husband provides for our family financially. Whatever income I bring in from kids and culture, I can kind of, do with it as I please. And that makes it takes the pressure off. And I'm thankful for that. And I just have so much admiration and respect for moms that are the sole breadwinner, and bringing that in and making sure that their kids have food to eat.
Yeah.
So my hat's off to you, and I commend you.
Right. Okay. So Kizzy,
Well, I've been in that place before. You can hear me? Okay. Yeah. So I've been in that place before where my husband was a sole income earner. And then when I created business, it was just to supplement. Honestly, it was just for kids' activities. But then we went through a season where he had back surgery. He was out of work for over a year. And I had to step up to the plate. We have a family of 7, so I have 5 children. And I had to jump into action and, get out of the home, start working. And I had been home for 10 years and not worked outside of my home. So I had to jump into play, get busy, provide for my family. And it was tiring. It was a lot. It's a lot, to say the least. But, feeding this large family, it was a lot to undertake. So I've been on both sides of it. And it's not an easy thing. It's not a pretty thing. And, just especially when you have a large family, it just makes it that much more difficult,
Yeah. Okay. Kimberly?
What? Oh, Kimberly.
Yeah.
Well, I am the sole provider. One thing about me is I will say I'm blessed that my late husband did have an estate. Everything is set up. So I still kind of have 2 incomes, although I am the only parent and I'm the only person working. So if y'all see me dip in and out the camera view, it's because I am working in homeschooling, and I just had USPS drop off a check to me and I had to go get it because I had to sign for it.
She making money. Come on.
Hello.
All right. And I like Thea's story. I know, y'all, go ahead, Thea.
I am the sole provider. I've been the sole provider for the last 3 years, 4 years. It's been a journey. I first started to be at home because we've always worked together, my husband and I, with businesses and investments and real estate. And then the spot blew up. It was a whole scandal and all kinds of stuff. I'm not going to go into details, but ever since, so the past 3 years, it's just been me. So the rent, the food, the lights, the water, the transportation, again, it's me. It still is me. So whatever I'm doing or not doing is a direct relation with providing for them. Dad is home making sure they get the basics for their schooling, right? So he does the schooling, he makes sure it's the bath and teas, the brush. So the roles are reversed where I'm working 12, 13 hours a day and he's making sure that's done. But in that, as women, we know there are 2 different ways of homeschooling for male and female. We automatically know that. They're going to get a different perspective from a male than they are from a female. So I still have to do it, right? It's not something I can just completely opt out of. If it was 2 women and this was my spouse, I wouldn't have to do shit, but it's not. It's a man and a woman. So the feminine energy still needs to be present. There still needs to be time with my son, time with my daughter. I still have to do that. So on top of working, I still am having to do the creative and the cooking. I still cook. My pizza dough is rising right now. Every Friday we make pizza from scratch and I make dough from scratch. My daughter and son help me. We do that together. So I still cook. I still clean. I still wash her hair that's completely down her back every week. And I'm still doing the duties on top of providing for the family. But to be honest with you, I try to merge it together, right? It's not a separation. My children know about real estate. They overlooked my website. They came back and told me the things I need to fix. They're helping me do my emails. They're helping me with getting prepared for work for the week. So I think it's a merging of both worlds. So I'm trying to make sure that I do that. So they're not left out. And then I'm still providing for the family, which I think is a great thing when you're homeschooling.
And Thea I'm gonna tell her business just a little bit.
Go and tell.
She was working outside the home 12 to 14 hours a day, and recently came to the conclusion, like, sent an email to her boss that night. Thank you, but I will no longer be working for you. Like that literally just happened. And so it's important.
Been a week.
Last
It's
week.
been a week.
Yeah. It's
been 1
important
week.
that we realize when we are being pulled and stretched and, just strained entirely too much. So I'm proud of you for that, because that's amazing in itself, saying I'm done, I'm gonna find something else.
And I did. I found
Yep.
something else. I'm doing the same job from home for the same amount of pay.
All right. Okay, Lakeisha. So do you fit that characteristic, I guess is what I'm asking?
Yeah, so I'm the sole parent and the sole provider. And I will not sugarcoat it. It can be hard as hell. Which is why even this past school year, with everything that happened in 2020 and all that, we have been trying out even unschooling this school year. So this past school year that just wrapped up, we did unschooling for the entire year. Just because I needed to. For the past 7 years, I've been homeschooling, and I try to have like a really strict schedule for the most part that I was doing for the longest, and it was burning me out. And I had to, and that was the financial component is a big reason why I've made the decision to move out of the country, because my money will go further and it'll be more of a better quality of life for me, my children, and I can show up better for them. Because I think the biggest thing that kind of hurt my heart last year was I heard my 7-year-old say, I guess my other 9-year-old was asking him where I was or what I was doing. He's like, oh, mommy's working. She's in the office working. She's always working. And that just like, y'all, it's like, ooh, okay, because even though they're involved in things, they're still not getting me as much as they would want to. And so that's where I've had to, like, for the past 6 months, sit back and reanalyze, how do I want my life? I can't keep doing this hustle and bustle, constantly. And to exactly what I think was NaConda that was saying it earlier, if I don't work, like, we don't eat. It's just that literal. But I've also had to go back and look at my business and restructure my business and figure out, okay, how can I improve in my business in a way to where I can bring in more income? And so that's where I have, invested in a coach and invested in areas and where there was kind of like, I wouldn't have done it years ago, but because I knew where I wanted to be and I knew the kind of life that I wanted me and my kids to have, and for them to, have a better homeschooling experience, I knew I needed to make that investment so that way it would pay out in the end, which I would say it's now kind of coming around to that. But yeah, it is very difficult to balance the two, not only just in the homeschool component, but just every aspect of it. Playing the roles of both parents and trying to balance everything. That's where I do outsource as much as I can, even down to meals. I'm not going to tell y'all I do not cook every day. That's not my life. I don't do it. Sometimes it's just not enough time, or I'm just too tired and exhausted. So I put in my budget as far as eating out and having meals delivered and things like that. So anywhere where I can get that assistance and get that help, even if it's to pay someone to come in and help clean the house, a couple times a week, I make sure and I put that in my budget to do that so I can have that help, because I cannot do everything by myself at all.
And NaConda, are you the sole?
No, my husband is. I was at one time a few years ago, but that was very short-lived. We've always operated under one income, and that has helped us. Right now, what I'm doing is more supplemental.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna look in the comments, and Pavi asked a question: when do you cook and you clean? When do you cook and clean?
Who do that? Where they do that at?
Throughout the day, let's put it that way. Throughout the day.
Yeah, I second that.
I do the same thing. Those are my breaks. My breaks from computer or my breaks from working is washing the dishes from breakfast, putting a load of clothes in.
Yeah.
Those are my breaks, because I'm not a sit at the computer for hours. I hate sitting that long. So that's my break.
See, and my motto is everybody contributes to the well-being of the family.
I love
everybody. And so my kids, they clean the kitchen. They have their daily chores that they do. As far as my bedroom, like the bathroom, I try to wipe it down every other day, something to that effect. But as far as cooking, I cook 3 times a week at the very most. I try to make a bunch so that there are leftovers and they can do what they want to do. We have breakfast for dinner all the time. We have PB&J. We are good for that. We'll do grilled cheese, whatever the case may be. Here's the thing. I have to remind myself that we are living in our house. Like, it's not a museum, right? Like, it's not,
Right.
we're living. Yes, they're messy. Yes, they don't do what they're supposed to. Yes, I'm on their behind right now. They're in trouble right now. But still, we're not living in a museum. We're living in our home, right? We're living in our house. So anybody else want to give her some advice on that?
I wanted to say something for parents or for moms with littles. I really took advantage of that nap time. And then after they outgrew that nap time, I took advantage of the quiet time. My boys have had quiet time. I mean, I think they both napped till they were at least 7. They napped for a long time. And then after that, it was the quiet time. So when they would have their quiet time or their nap time, that's when I tried to prep dinner or get some things done. I'm a huge advocate of the help. So pre-pandemic, I did have someone come in once a month, not once a week, I wish once a week, but once a month, to clean my house. And, you still have maintenance to do in between those times. But I would just also say, as some of the moms have already said, part of the training process, we were talking about business and all that, you have to teach your children how to cook. So mine are 12 and 15, and they each cook dinner 1 time a week. So that's 2 times a week that I am not cooking. And when school is in session, they alternate weeks. But in the summertime, I said you each are taking a day. And so you have to have patience, because I didn't want to give up my kitchen. I want my kitchen to look a certain way, but you have to have patience. And yes, after they're finished in the kitchen and I try to walk in there, I can't walk. I mean, I'm stepping on food and, all of that. But it's part of the training process so that you can have some help. And like Sean said, everybody needs to contribute, to the house. So they do chores, but when they're not able to quite yet, I think mine were probably 4 and 5, and I was teaching them how to fold clothes. There are things that they can do.
We started with towels.
It's not going to be perfect, but it's part of the process. So that would be my advice.
Baby, you better ball that towel up. You doing an amazing job balling that towel up. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Child labor is amazing.
Yes, I agree.
I to fold their own clothes. Like, that's what I do in my house. Everybody gets their, they wash their own clothes and they fold their own clothes. Even in the laundry room, everything is height specific based on each child. So they have their wash day. They go in, they wash their clothes, take them from the wash sheet, put them in the dryer. You fold your clothes and put them up. So I started working with them on that as early as possible. Even my 2-year-old. She gets in there, gets on a little stool, and we help her. She, shows how she knows how to wash her clothes. Okay, it's time to take them out. She hears the buzzer. She goes running. I got to catch her, y'all, because she be trying to go into the dryer. But, put the stuff in the dryer because she think it's fun. I'm like, it's cute, but you can't get in there while it's on. Like, no, we can't do that. No. But, you make it fun. And so things like that definitely help by having them to be. And again, they're a part of it. So the more they feel like they're contributing and they're doing part of something, the better. It also helps when you go and you get ready to go to different people's homes. Your kids already kind of are acclimated to knowing, to clean up behind themselves and all that kind of stuff. So you're not having to run it behind them all the time.
So let me ask y'all a question, because she said when going to other people's homes. When my kids go to other people's homes, and they don't go to everybody's home, but they'll go to their papas, their Grammys, their cousins. Do they clean up better over at other folks' house?
Yes.
No, mine ain't.
Yes. It's something about it. I don't know, Sean. It's something about it. I agree. They do.
I'm like, who did what?
They don't have to be asked. Grandma don't have to tell them nothing. I'm like, I got to tell y'all 50,000 times, but grandma can say it once and then it's just it. Like,
listen, and I stole,
or she ain't gonna say it at all.
I stole something from Dr. Shiva. One of the things that we have an issue with is our kids would literally leave stuff in the living room. And our rule is in the common spaces, keep your stuff out of there. But when you're in your room, you want to leave it anywhere until it's time to clean up. That's your room, that's your space. But in the common area, keep it clean. And so I walk in and there's soccer cleats and shoes and socks and all kind of stuff. So Dr. Shiva was like, she had her kids doing where she would have them take it 10 times back.
It's drills. You're running drills.
Yeah. And so that's what we do. So if I walk in the living room and I see my son's cleats, I'm like, up 10 times. And he's like, no. So he goes
that's
back
a good idea.
Yeah, he goes back and forth from his closet to the living room, from his closet.
I started doing the same thing. I started doing the same thing.
Yeah,
I do the same thing.
It's worked. My living room is spotless this very moment. It's the only room that's spotless, but it's spotless. All right.
Yeah, I wanted to say that I think when I first started homeschooling, for me, the important part was for my children to know how to take care of themselves. Like that's the most important part for me. So learning how to cook, how to bathe properly, how to clean your teeth, how to fix your hair, you know, what to feed your body, knowing when your body is hungry or thirsty. Like that is the most important part, which I think is overlooked in homeschool for some reason. Like in some sectors of homeschool groups and places I go, they don't talk a lot about, they think it's, you know, well, your kid is just cleaning your house. No, they live there. They need to know how to take care of things. How do they take care of clothes? How do they take care of books? How do they take care of sheets and towels and toothbrushes? They need to know how to do that, because a lot of, I mean, I've been around homeschoolers a long time, and some of them, that whole home component and caring for yourself, they have no clue. They don't know how to care for themselves. They can't go in the kitchen and figure out how to feed themselves or what they actually need to eat. So for me, I concentrate a whole lot on the basics of living, like the foundation of how to care for yourself versus reading, writing, and numbers. You're going to get that. You'll get that if you just watch TV all day. You're going to automatically get that. Babies automatically get that without having some structured curriculum. Just keep that going. They automatically get that by seeing, walking, talking, and being around people who do it. So, but learning how to actually cook an egg, when to know when the food is boiled, when to know how much soap to put in the machine, knowing, okay, like, I need deodorant. They don't
teach my kids that, when and how much soap to use. Can somebody come teach my kids?
The soap thing is like unbelievable, right? Soap is just,
I just write it. They have cups, and you can literally just do a cup where it has, you know, one, you know, for however many loaves. And so I taught my kids based on that, and so they use that the measuring cup.
My child
not the one that comes with
that.
like we use games, so not the one that comes with it.
They put 3 cups.
Listen, mine are like,
and I will tell y'all, as someone with a 20-year-old, we're in the process. She's moving into her apartment next week, actually. And this process of her even transitioning into moving to her first apartment, she was like, Mama, thank you so much, because she was like, man, you just stayed on top of me with, you know, doing this and cleaning this. And I just thought you were being mean. And now as we're even this process of moving, and I would say I'm OCD. So let me put that disclaimer out there. So that's a little bit different, but I'm OCD. So, but even the process of, you know, having a checklist of everything that you need for each room and all this, and, you know, it is helping her even make that transition into moving into her own space so much easier. And they will definitely thank you. So I even feel more comfortable and better that, okay, even though we're, you know, about to move out the country, me and the rest of the kids, I feel comfortable that, okay, she's able to maintain and know how to take care of herself. That you know, like I stress life skills training more than anything. And even 9th through 12th, I focus on that, is the preparation of you being able to survive at 18. What does that look like if you're no longer living at home and you're able to go out into society and go out into the world and take care of yourself efficiently?
Okay.
I agree.
Well, guys,
I piggyback on that as well. Sorry.
Go ahead real quick.
Yeah, same for me. Life skills, activities, experiences are far greater. And so we do everything. We raise chickens, we do small farming. So they have a system. So if you create systems and you ingrain that in routine in their heart, they're programmed already. So if I'm removed out of the equation, they're self-sufficient. They can completely run from top to bottom. I cook maybe once a week. Everything else is run by them. Laundry, grocery shopping, they can do. They have to stick within a budget. They even did home buyer seminar to purchase our home and what we needed and know our budget and find it. I teach everything for life skills. So they take care of the lawn. They take care of all of that. So I don't have to say, okay, cut the grass. Okay, go ahead and do this. And cleaning, I don't touch any of that. Only thing I do is my own laundry in the house. So everything else, they are completely self-sufficient. So if they need to figure out how to change their carburetor and a lawnmower, YouTube University, we're going to figure it out. We're going to, you know, we've had to cut down trees. We've had to do all kinds of stuff, but it's life skills for me because like she said, like Lakeisha said, and Thea, once they're gone from home, they're self-sufficient. When my kids went off to college, I got 2 in college. Both of them are straight A's. I'm not there. I don't teach them. I'm not saying do your homework, you know, any of that. They're doing it on their own and it's evidence. The academia is secondary. They'll get that automatically. I don't have to ingrain it. That was never a big thing for me, but they got it. There's evidence, the proof is in the pudding. They're making straight A's without me. So, you know, I think life skills are essential. My boys cut their own hair. They do it all. So completely self-sufficient.
That's good stuff. So y'all listen, this is a good conversation. We probably should have done a two-parter, right? Because it's already 11:50 and I feel like we barely like touched the surface of any of that. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna do nuggets. Everybody give me a nugget and tell everyone how they can follow you as soon as, let me check the comments and make sure, let's see, I see you guys in there helping. I appreciate it. Hey, Jazzy. Let's see. May Lynn says, I may have to try popping into the second one. Zoom link is not working for me. I'm having technical difficulties. We will see you later on at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Let's see. May Lynn also says, that's my motto too, yet my family doesn't listen. I guess everybody contributing to the well-being of the family. Jazzy says, all my kids have chores and kitchen cooking and cleaning days, and mama be tired. And then Jazzy also says, my 5 and 7-year-old about to get some more chores, right? I guess listening to us, they're about to get some more responsibility. And let's see. And then the kind of time I get them. Maylin says, yes, life skills is what's all about other than love, what it's all about other than love. After hearing these ladies, I see I'm underestimating what they can do. That's what Jazzy said. Jazzy said, oh snap, life skills about to ramp up over here. And then Ruby's in the comments as well on the screen. She said, you ladies are so inspiring. Thank you. I hope to stay awake for the meeting tonight. Thanks, and thank God it's Friday. All right. So give us a nugget and how they can follow you again. I'm going to start with the top. So Adrienne, you're first. You're muted.
Okay, I just want to amen everything all of these ladies have said. I mean, my motto is train your child to help themselves, which in turn helps you and releases a lot of stress. Has always been my motto. And if you want to follow me, I am the homeschool mom of 8. On Instagram, YouTube, my website, homeschool mom of 8.
All right, Jania.
My one nugget would be the virtuous woman had help. So don't feel shamed in getting help also. Bringing in some help, outsourcing, whatever that may look like for you. You can connect with me on Instagram, Kids and Culture Camp, and also on Facebook at Kids and Culture. And then our website is kidsandculture.com.
Okay.
Thanks.
I like that nugget. Come on, Kizzy, you're next.
I would say establish routines and systems to work for you and your family. Also, I've fostered independence from day one. I mean, from the time they're able to walk. My whole goal is independence and self-sufficiency so that they won't have a need for you to be there for every little thing. So yeah, and you can follow me on all social media, Kizzy Staten Gray, and that's also my website, kizzystatengray.com.
Okay, and Staten is spelled Staten. Y'all,
Yes.
I say that because I'm slow and I would spell it wrong. So I'm letting you know how it's spelled.
Thank
All
you.
right, you're welcome, Kimberly.
My nugget will be to plan out your day. Don't do everything yourself. And you can follow me on IG at the Southern Mocha Homeschooling Mom.
Okay, all right, and Thea D. Parker.
Well, my nugget is follow your passions and your dreams so your family can reap the benefits of it. So pick you first in whatever work you decide to do. They could be something that is fulfilling for you. And you can follow me everywhere at Thea Parker Show.
All right, Lakeisha.
My thing is always on life design. So making sure that you are designing the lifestyle that you want. And I always tell my moms, remember that your homeschool does not have to be perfect. It just has to be a happy one for you and your family. And you guys can connect with me at Real Moms of Homeschooling on all social media and then realmomsofhomeschooling.com.
Okay, and NaConda.
My nugget would be that homeschool is a lifestyle. And I wrote about how seeking entrepreneurship and working along with homeschooling, helped me to get out of some mental illness that I was experiencing. And I wrote about that in my Amazon bestseller book, Confessions of a Depressed Homeschool Mom. You can find that on my website where you can connect with me, NaCondaFrank.com.
All right. And I am your gracious host, humble host, Sean Taylor. And my nugget would be, it can wait. All of it. All of it can wait. Every bit of it can wait, right? Nothing is an emergency. And I have to remind myself that, because last night we got off of the panel last night. What did I tell y'all I was doing? I told y'all I was going to bed. I was going to get in the shower and go to bed. I was up till 12:30, 1 o'clock working on conference stuff. It can wait. It could have waited. All of it could have waited. It was not an emergency, but I did continue working. So take all of our advice, because we're living the same life that you're living, and take what you need, leave what you don't, right? Thank y'all so much for joining us. We'll be back again at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Somebody remind me, what is 9 p.m. session? Anybody? Do I have to go look this time? I may have to go look. Oh, Janae has a whole graphic, y'all.
My kids getting on my nerves.
Homeschooling isn't for everyone.
Oh, okay.
I thought kids getting on my nerves. Is
Wait a minute, which one is it?
I signed up for the wrong one.
Yeah. Oh, no. I'm wrong. No, that's right. No, I'm wrong. I got it wrong.
Is kids?
That's tomorrow. Homeschooling isn't for everyone. It's tomorrow.
Okay, so tonight is kids are getting on my nerves, right? Oh, this might be a good conversation, y'all. I might have to put my hair in a bun, right? Wash my face and come in with PJs for real. So meet us tonight at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. You guys have an absolutely wonderful day. Enjoy your day. Ladies, speakers, if you could stay, because I'm going to try to get a picture, or ask Jania to get a picture again, because she does such an amazing job at it. But thank y'all so much for joining us. We will see y'all later.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
All right, so let me stop sharing live. Bye, guys.